Hi, there's an ongoing thing going around in the BJJ community that people ask, do jiu-jitsu work in the streets? Well, if you're like me who look on YouTube all the time, you run into this question a lot. And today, I'm going to try to tackle that for you. Don't mind the light in my face. There's some nice sunshine coming through the door. But sometimes we gotta let nature take its course. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment because I know this could be a little controversial, but let's start. Now, what I'm about to do is show you a couple of videos that I've ran across on YouTube and I felt like I need a comment on. Now, you may actually agree with these guys, but I seem to find it a little odd. And at the end of this video, we're going to hear from a guy who's actually an expert on BJJ. I myself am a purple belt. I may be able to handle myself, but I think this guy really articulates how I think. Now, let's go. So, first up is this guy from Wild Hunting Conditioning. I'll let him say what he needs to say.
Jiu-jitsu is useless in a street fight. In my time as an inmate and a criminal, I saw more fights in real-world violence.
All right. Right off the bat, the guy said he was an inmate. And I would think, I mean, I'm not talking about fighting in the yard here, but what if you're in your cell and some dude is about to, you know what to you? I think jujitsu would be the perfect thing to stop that guy from doing something to you. But let's continue.
Than 99% of fight experts. So I know that unless you have wrestling or judo, your jiu-jitsu is useless.
That right there, this was really caught my attention because if anybody who does jujitsu knows, jujitsu has come from judo at some point. And jujitsu also has elements of wrestling. So I don't know where he's going with this. But all right, let's go again.
Because in a real fight, unless you can take a person who's punching you in the face and put them on their back, you're not going to get a chance to use your jiu-jitsu at any point. So if you train jiu-jitsu,
Now, I know you want maybe hold on. Maybe I misunderstood. I'm gonna rewind back a little bit.
unless you can take a person who's punching you in the face and put them on their back, you're not going to get a chance to use your jiu-jitsu.
Well, okay. Now I actually heard what he said. If you can't get them on their back, if somebody's punching you in your face. Now, yeah. The purpose of doing jujitsu and would be to try to get the guy on his back. And if by chance you get put on your back, you would be able to submit this person or maybe turn him over so now you could submit him and you're on top. Makes sense, right? Okay.
Any point. So if you train jiu-jitsu for self-defense, make sure you have at least 2 good takedowns you can hit without thinking. Because without that, your skills are going to be useless in a real fight.
Yeah. Well, what I would say, which was a little contradictory, if he knows jujitsu, he would have already known that part of the art is trying to get taking somebody down. And if you're in a place that's not teaching you takedowns, I think maybe you should actually learn some. So there he is correct. But at the same time, it sounds like he never really understood what jujitsu was. Just my opinion. Moving on, let's look at this other video. All right, here's another guy I ran across. Can't remember his name. I don't even think I care, but All right, let's go.
Wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they are not great martial arts for street fighting. In a tournament with my friend, what happened in a fight, deep rock, he tackled someone to the ground, winning the street fight, and his friend comes along and hits him on the back of the head with a champagne bottle and knocks him out. Most street fights...
Now, is he talking about maybe, again, let me rewind back because I'm trying to figure out is he talking about him or somebody else? Let me rewind back for a second.
Someone to the ground, winning the street fight, and his friend comes along. What happened in a fight, deep rock, he tackled someone to the ground, winning the street fight, and his friend comes along and hits him on the back of the head with a champagne bottle and knocks him out. Most street fights, it's not going to be a one-on-one situation. You have to be aware of the 360 around you all the time and move your feet. The rest.
All right, so I honestly did not understand what he said. Is he talking about a guy he's supposed to be protecting because he's a bouncer? Or is he talking about his buddy? Because if you had a buddy there, why isn't your buddy watching your back, first of all? That I don't get. Second of all, yes, you should be aware of your surroundings. But the way he made it sound was the guy just went for a tackle and that's it. Now, if you know jujitsu, if you know wrestling, you know how to control the guy. And you could also pick your head up and look around also. So I think he misses the idea of the whole thing there. But I digress. Again, I'm no expert, but at the same time, you and your bouncer friend are there. Sounds like you weren't even doing your job. Moving on. For this next one, I'm going to bring together a man, the myth, the legend. That's right, Andrew Tate, in his own words.
Newsflash, BJJ is fucking useless.
Whoa, 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 whoa. My fault. I don't really watch this guy. I'm not really into that whole macho blah 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 stuff. So I didn't even realize this guy curses a lot. So if you're a kid out there and you don't like cursing, please forgive me. Again, but I don't want to mince words with this guy. I'll let him explain on his own.
Jiu-jitsu. I trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and I fought against Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu professionally. But I'm telling you, for the street.
Right there. Tate, I don't believe you. I've never heard of anybody saying you did an MMA match. But again, I know you were a kickboxer, and I know you got your butt whooped not too long ago by some dude who really didn't know how to box. But let's continue.
For self-defense, do not waste your time with BJJ or wrestling. And here's why. The number one rule of the street is do not go to the ground. You don't know if your opponent has a weapon.
Right. Yeah. You try your best not to get on the ground. Agreed there. Okay. But, come on.
You don't know if he has a friend who's going to come along and kick you in the face. You don't know the police are going to turn up. You don't know the whole big corner. All of his friends will be running on the corner. You need to be on your feet.
Not to get personal, but I think this guy shouldn't really be talking about criminal activity. But then again, he might be an expert on that.
All times ready to run to preserve your life. Secondly, a lot of these BJJ moves are ineffective against the rules of the street. Yeah, a triangle choke works in the cage, but it ain't gonna work if someone bite your fucking balls off. An armbar aren't gonna work if taking a chunk out your fucking skin.
I mean, this guy. Hey, this guy. I'm not. I gotta admit, he's very animated. I'll give him that. But hey, it's Andrew Tate we're talking about here. This guy, he'll make it sound like you're in danger from a worm crawling down the ground because you don't want this worm to put its slime on you. Somebody might bite your. No, I'll be honest with you. No.
These other things aren't gonna work. They pick up a rock and smash you around the head with it. You try triangle choke a dude when he can pick you up and slam you on concrete, not an octagon. When he body slams your head on concrete, you tell me how you're gonna get away with that triangle choke without taking.
That right there, you could tell he doesn't know what he's talking about. Because if you're good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you know if somebody's about to slam you, you let go. Nobody's just going to let you slam them on the ground. But okay, keep on going.
Damage yourself. It's bullshit. All of it's ineffective on the street. You can get the best BJJ player in the world. If he's fighting two guys, he's gonna lose. Because as soon as he tries to grab one up, the other guy's gonna jump on his fucking face. So who cares how good you are at fucking this kind of choke, that kind of choke? You're gonna get fucking grounded and pounded or head stomped and beaten up. It's rules of street fights. Stay on your feet. Use your hands and be ready to go from attacking to running from your life at the drop of a hat.
Well, that guy right there, he said quite a lot. I mean, I don't want to get on that guy's bad side because he might, hurt me. I know where he's at. He's thinking about biting people. That's what that guy thinks about. Matter of fact, I've heard of some questionable things about him, quite a few. But I digress. Now, let me let you listen to this one guy who had a lot to say about Andrew Tate and that little advice right there. And I think he could wrap this up better than anybody else could.
BJJ is absolutely absolute.
So that's our opinion of a professional kickboxer about jiu-jitsu. Somebody who has never trained jiu-jitsu and somebody who probably never had to work on the street. So if you think like Tate, then ask yourself, why do so many police officers and almost every single bouncer train something like
that point too,
or something familiar? If you look at my comments of the many videos that I do of grappling versus striking, there's two sides. So one side is bouncers, law enforcement officers, correctional officers, those people saying that, yeah, Pete, you're absolutely right.
All good points. Now listen to them a little closely.
And saying that, yeah, in my time as a bouncer, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has saved my life so many times. It was the most important thing. Police officers saying that, yeah, I have to use that daily in my day-to-day life. It's so much more valuable than striking. It's so important to know the grapple. And then the other half are 16-year-old edgelords without zero training of any fight whatsoever, telling me that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu doesn't work on the street, and then it doesn't make any sense. You decide who you'd rather believe. Then the next argument, Tate is like, yeah, it's so important to stay on your feet. And I'm like, that's why you should learn grappling. You not. That's like saying it's very important to not get punched in your face in a street fight.
I'm gonna let him keep on going because he's doing a way better job than me.
That's why you should never, ever train boxing. Doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't, right? Who is more likely to fall to the floor? The guy who knows grappling or the guy who doesn't know grappling? The guy who knows takedowns and takedown defense or the guy who doesn't know? So that's a very uninformed, he doesn't even know what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu actually is, right? And that's why he thinks it's useless, because he has no clue about it. So yeah, Tate is a controversial figure. Like most people, he's saying some things that are true. And like most people, he's saying some things that are very dumb and very wrong. And I think a lot of what he says, he's saying exclusively
Preach, my guy.
to
Preach.
gain more popularity and to increase his audience and stuff like that.
Exactly. I think we call that grifting. All right, well, let's try.
But be very careful within what aspect somebody is an expert and what aspect somebody is not an expert. He's not an expert in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Which is quite obvious, but let's keep on going.
He's not somebody who worked on the street. Be careful who you listen to.
Man, I don't think I could have said it any better than myself, than that guy. Oh, look, give me 1 second. I want to make sure I get that guy's name. I want you. I think he deserves credit for this one. The man name is Peter Mettler, martial arts. He be found at Peter Mettler martial arts. That's Peter, Peter Mettler. Well, I would say if you're gonna learn something, you want something that's a little bit easier in your body. I'm not saying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is it's hard. It is easy, but for people who are older, for people who are young, for people all around, man, woman, child, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu will get you out of a lot of situations. Thank you for listening, and be sure if you don't like what I have to say, you don't like the content of this video, leave a comment. If you like it, leave a comment. If you like anything on this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you and have a nice day.